Hello. Mwah! We're not in the car, but we still give a kiss.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
So let's introduce ourselves.
Yes. You go first.
I'm Julie.
I'm Judy.
And this is Knitting Around LA.
And we're knitting and showing our work today in Julie's studio.
Yes. We're going to do a knitting conversation, and another time we'll probably take a trip and take you
along
someplace fun. Well, the very next trip that we're going to take is going to be Stitches West.
In just a couple of days. Yeah, we're really excited.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know, I don't know if you've seen it all over Instagram. People are talking about how they're going to Stitches West. I don't know who that was, and it was on my personal. Somebody showed themselves driving along in this like all snow on the ground, and I was thinking, that's not what my road to Stitches looks like.
No.
Although we're flying. And then I was going to comment, oh, well, when you get here, it's not going to look like that.
No. I'll tell you, I'm really excited because I'm particularly looking forward to seeing people who are going to be either greeting or giving classes. And they're going to be hanging out in some various booths. And I want to see them. And in particular, I'm really looking forward to meeting Brooklynboyknits. And I try to get
to see Gigi.
Yes, and Gigi, and I try to get in because he had said he has classes, but they were already full. And I did it the day that I think he posted and said there was still room. Well, there wasn't by the time I got there, but it doesn't matter. I still want to meet him and really congratulate him on his remarkable and well-deserved rise in the knitting community. His work is fabulous.
Okay, so we're going to talk knitting, and we have a lot of stuff to show, and I want to catch up on some things that we may have shown in the past, and give an update and a progress report. So do you want to go first?
Sure. I guess something that I've shown maybe in like a year ago, a video was I like socks, and this is a pair.
Have you been working on those that long? You didn't show these on video before.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
It's been so long.
Great.
These are shorties, which is why, they're little. And I've got some waste yarn in here because I'm going to do an afterthought heel. And here it's companion. And at this point, I think I'm going to try the technique of knitting in the waste yarn rather than going back and picking up a leg and threading it in. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's an opportunity to learn something. So yeah, and I haven't done that before, and I just thought it might be kind of cool.
Okay.
So should I?
How about get the picture of the thing that's finished, the nanette top.
Yes.
You had shown it in progress.
I did.
And let's show the picture. Let's see the pictures of it done.
All right. So of course.
Now you're not.
Now I can't. Yeah, now I can't. Now I can't find it. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. There's a new system of iPhotos. No, and
I know.
I'm just having difficulty finding it.
Okay.
So
I know it's in there.
You want to chat a little bit, and I'll
well,
find it.
I can show something that I showed a few times. I think I showed it a couple times, and that's my Waiting for Rain shawl. It took a long time to get done, and there it is. It's done.
It's so beautiful.
Yes, but as I shared with you, I'm a little disappointed in it because I did want it to be bigger, and it's not very deep, and it could be longer. And so doing this, I've discovered that I like a little bit bigger shawl. There it is.
I found them.
Okay, so that's the nanette top. Go ahead.
Well, you want to finish? I mean, are you? Okay. This is one that I completed, and it's a summer top, front and back, and that's
it was cotton,
and it was for my daughter, and
you bought it at Vogue Knitting Live.
I bought it at
Vegas,
Vogue Knitting Live,
which was
a while ago.
2015.
No.
2016?
I don't know, but it really...
No, it was 2015.
Well, I didn't start it then. And it did take me a little while, but yeah.
I started it. So,
Yeah.
So
that one's done.
yep, this is done. You know, on this, I need to, I was going to look at the pattern again, but I know that one thing, when I did look at it, and she had said that her stitch gauge was 24 stitches over 4 inches, but also 24 rows over 4 inches. I don't even know how you get that.
Wouldn't it be 16 inches?
No, 4 inches. 24 rows over 4 inches. You almost never, your row gauge is the same as your stitch gauge. So I don't know how that worked. But it came out a little bit short. It's fine. I wear it and it's nice and warm and everything. I just now, but it is
Smaller than you would have liked.
smaller than I would have liked. But I loved this short row lace inserts. And I love the yarn, which I got from the Yarn Over truck. Was Dragonfly Fibers Pixie, and this was Van Gogh's Wheat Fields, and this is called Blue Velvet.
Super beautiful. Super beautiful.
So so that was finished from before, and show your purple vest. That was
purple
something
vest.
from before
Yes.
that you showed in progress.
The whole back is done.
Yay.
So yeah, so it's all, it's
This
pretty
is
and sparkly. It's got a little glitch. So, you know, you always have
need to
ends
fix
and
it.
things to weave in. So that's something I'll weave in. But I'm happy with the
really
edge looks
beautiful.
good and it feels nice. And this is going to be its companion front vest part. It's going to be a vest. So sparkly in the back and more sparkly in the front.
This is the same yarn that I used in this.
I think so.
It's Prism yarns.
Yes.
With
It
the
is.
sequins in it. It's gorgeous
Lovely.
yarn.
It's
Love
really
it.
lovely. It has a
Love
nice
this yarn.
feel. Really nice hand. So
I'm using it. I'll show that one. So, what else do you have
I
from the past? What did you have from the past?
well, I think I haven't shown this, but I could
No.
talk about this since I just mentioned the vest and the little glitch I have in the vest. This is something I had knit last year. Didn't get shown, but it's a cable beanie that I made for my daughter. This is a Malabrigo yarn.
It's beautiful.
It's really lovely, but
Great color.
look,
Probably a moth. You think?
probably a moth. And so now I have to go fix this. And that touches on a topic about mending. And like I have to do a little mend on the back of the vest and I have to mend this. And honestly, I don't like mending. I don't know how many of you do. I
I
mean,
don't think anybody likes mending.
well,
but, you know.
I don't know. I mean, it's something that it's almost like drudgery. You know, it's like I'm done with that. It was perfect when I did it, and you know now a moth ate it.
I know, but
and
you know
I gotta
what?
fix
It won't take very long when you
I
do
know, it's
this.
to weave it in.
But you should do it soon because I think
It's
these
starting
folds
to
are getting
unravel.
bigger.
Do you think something like that? And this, you know, a cheat. What about using something like, you know, the freight check? Freight check.
Okay, freight check is fine, but it will.
I mean, it won't close the hole, but
No, well, but I'll tell you, I've used freight check a lot.
okay.
It would. Oops.
Went
We'll
in the
have to get
garbage.
that.
Yeah, later. What do you think?
It will make it darker and it will stay dark.
Oh, okay.
And freight check is hard. It dries
true.
hard.
Yeah, a little crispy.
So even if you did it on the inside,
Yeah.
it might, you know, itch her head.
Okay.
So like I said, I would do the thing where you embroider and you
Right.
simulate the stitch.
Yeah, sort
And
of
you can look up,
Kitchenerish.
you
Yeah,
can look, you know how like sometimes you embroider over it
right, right.
and you simulate the knit
Yeah.
stitch.
Yeah,
You know, like if you were doing this, you could come in and embroider this over
on top
yeah.
of it.
Okay,
All right,
and
so
do that. Yeah.
Mending, not high on my list
But
of loves.
if you do it, it won't take long, and
No.
it'll be done, and you can give it back to her.
Oh, I know, because she's already asking for it. She's going to Colorado, go snowboarding. I don't know, in a couple of weeks.
Now, was this part of the set of 9 hats that you
Yes.
made for the relatives?
I did, and when I made them, it never got in the mix of getting sent to family back east, because she saw it and she goes, "Oh, mine."
Okay. Well, okay.
Out of the mix.
Okay.
So
Talk about gift knitting.
yeah. Oh, gift knitting.
Well, yes, we have a new gift knitting philosophy.
All right.
Don't do it as a surprise.
No.
And we're not the. And I
gift knit this,
Yes.
but I did it without sharing or asking
the
the
recipient.
So
God, it's so cool.
well,
But
this,
love to back up though.
Okay.
Tell me about this. Where did you get it? Do you remember what booth and what kind of yarn it is and that kind of stuff?
This, I bought the yarn. It is Shetland wool, and the vendor was at Stitches SoCal this past November
2019.
Yep. And this was the sample hat that they had, and it was at the Jameson wool booth. And when I bought the pattern, I'm weaving in ends. Sorry. So
Oh, good. That's fine.
okay. So when I bought the pattern, which I based on the sample, the pattern actually had 9 colors. This only has 5, and I thought, well, I've knit Fair Isle before. Okay, so I'll just reduce the pattern colors to the 9, from the 9 to the 5. And at first I thought, well, I was looking for
So you had to redraw the entire chart.
I had to redraw the whole chart.
Right. And there's no problem with that. That's easy.
Yeah, right. No,
It's
not easy. I mean, it's obviously doable. I did it. And it was it was actually not bad when I look back on it, because I really learned a lot. And we talked a lot about, how you have to draft a Fair Isle pattern so that it becomes manageable. At one point, I was knitting with, only briefly, 3 colors. And if you think knitting with 2 colors is a challenge, 3 makes it exponentially difficult because of the twisting of the colors.
Mm-hmm.
So I quickly unknit that row and said, forget it. I'm not doing, whatever length of pattern it was. And I changed it yet again. So this little marker I have to
sheepies.
fix.
Oh yeah, I know
boo-boo.
that was a little hole. It's gonna be fixed
It's a little sheep.
because nothing handmade is perfect. And then there's these little ram's heads.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But when I showed, I went to dinner with my
Prospective recipients.
yes, there were 4 of them. My son and his girlfriend, my daughter and her boyfriend, and I took it out and I said, "Oh, look, I just finished this hat." And they all snowboard or ski, so this wool is very warm, and because of all of the floats, it's a very heavy hat in terms of warm, wear.
It's almost like double. It's double layer.
It's double layers.
Double layer.
So my son looked at it, and the first thing he said was, "Well, Mom, you've already knit me 2 hats." My daughter chimes in, "Oh, yeah, Mom, you've knit me 2 as well." My son's girlfriend says, "Oh, I like blue." My daughter's boyfriend tried it on nicely, and carefully took it off and put it on the table and didn't say anything. So I knew it didn't have a home. So you know what? That made me think. Mm-hmm. And I've come to the conclusion that unless someone specifically asks me, mm-hmm. I'm knitting for myself. You know what? I knit and I give everything away. Mm-hmm. And now it's going to change.
Yeah. Well, and I had a gift knitting less than successful episode last year.
What happened?
The vest.
Oh yeah.
The vest.
Yeah.
The vest.
Yeah.
And so I'm not even going to go into it. But and in the vlogosphere, mm-hmm. I think the grocery girls talked about it recently, meaning within the last 3 months or so, and I think Opera Joe mentioned it also. And it's kind of don't gift knit as a surprise. It's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, because
you need to know that they want it,
right?
Because
I thought
they like it.
I was like, oh gosh, look at those sheep. They're so cute. They're so adorable. Who wouldn't love this hat?
Well, now you know.
Nobody loved it. So, and I thought it was precious. So
it is.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to find a home somewhere.
You're not going to keep it for you. You wouldn't wear it.
Oh no.
Because it's not cold enough.
Look, if we get down to like 40,
are you in flip flops?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, no.
Yeah.
I'm in sandals and no.
Year round.
Year
round.
round. Yeah. No.
Okay.
So yeah. So knit for yourself. You deserve it.
Well, and I'm giving this away, but
yes, as we talking about knit for yourself.
Well, and I'll tell. And
all right, go ahead.
I don't know.
Go.
No. Okay. So actually. I want to do things previously shown and also off ramps. So do you have anything else from the past?
Yeah, well, I have this.
Oh, not that you previously showed.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
So let me show.
Oh,
something.
you have a lot. Show.
Oh well.
Show away.
One thing I think I showed this on video, but I wanted to show you something about it.
Okay.
Don't run over the dog's nose.
He didn't yelp. I think he's okay.
No. This was a top, and look at it. It's like...
Oh, it's stretching.
Yes, and it's like it's never going to stop stretching. Wow. But it's fine, because I wear it with tights.
It looks great.
It's tunic length, and that's fine, but this is one of the things that...
Well, why do you think it's stretched? Was it is it because of the cotton material?
Because cotton... the open mesh, and that it's a diagonal, and that all of those things together equal continued stretching. Plus, sometimes some knits will just continue to stretch.
It's got to reach a point though where it stops.
There has got to be.
There's got to be a limit. But
we'll see.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. That looks great though.
But that's why they say not to hang knits. That's why you're supposed to fold knits, because if you hang it on a hanger, it'll just stretch.
Yeah, it's gonna pull.
And on that note,
okay,
I do hang my knits. Because this. So this was when I showed this. When I started it with.
Bring it closer so they can see the beautiful sparkle. Look at this.
Okay, but when I started this. It was so. This is now side to side, and it's a color changing yarn. So this is all one yarn, except for the sparkles was some random yarn with sequins in it that I had, and I don't even know what it is. So that's a different yarn, just for stripes here and there. But this is and so I started it, and I was knitting it around, and I got about this far, and I took it out and started over because I don't know, because as it was increasing, so it was an A-line skirt.
Oh, so it was getting...
So by the time it got to the hem, I knew that the stripes were going to be like 1 stitch high. But up here, the colors would last for maybe 2 rounds. And there were thicker stripes. And I just
that would be weird. The color,
yeah. And plus it was side to side stripes. So
this is so gorgeous.
I did this, and it's short rows, and
beautiful. I
might put this in the LA County Fair this year.
All right.
Because from May to September, I don't think I'm wearing this skirt. It's.
Are you going to wear it at Stitches?
I don't know. I haven't decided. I've got to start to pack. I haven't decided. So, and this I never did show, but this is a pattern that I got. It's called Bodie, and it's a pattern that was written for cotton.
Oh. And
I got picked up the pattern at Wild Fiber during the yarn crawl last year. And this is Cascade hand paint Pima yarn that I bought online from Webs.
Oh, lovely feel.
Yeah.
Lovely feel. You have to wear that at Stitches and let Gigi see it.
I will. this I
that's
will
her
probably
color.
take to stitches.
Could you be
I don't know.
comfortable in the
Because
then
it's all cotton.
and it's also might be hot in there and it'd be perfect.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Yep,
I
yep.
haven't decided what to take
Okay.
yet. But I have more. Oh,
Go,
so here's
show.
something else that I showed before when it was just starting and it's finished. This is the wool eater blanket. And it still looks like an impressionist painting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about 36 by 36.
It's so pretty. Now
For-
that's a crochet.
It's crocheted.
Okay.
This is for...
She's ambi toolist.
I'm multi-technical.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to say like ambidextrous, but with needle and hook. I don't know. It came out weird. But she does it all.
I do
And
both.
she sews.
I do both.
And you sew.
I started out sewing.
I know. You do it. She does it all.
Actually, I learned to crochet before I learned to sew.
Overachiever. Well, keep showing.
Okay, so something that we talked about from the past
Yes.
that we had wanted to do. Oh, and this is one of my new favorite bags from
Erin Lane.
Erin Lane. So it's got like just this one handle. It's got a window. It opens up. It fits an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And this is the Lorelei shawl that we talked about before. We talked about doing it together.
Yes.
Well, you can
Yes,
still
we
catch up
did.
with me because I haven't made very much progress.
Oh, that's not Lorelei.
So
Where did Lorelei go? Oh, here's Lorelei.
that's that.
I've made less progress, but I have my yarns. And they're both sparkly. And
one you
this-
got at the knitting tree and one you got from the yarn over truck.
yeah, and mine is going to be morning and night sky. 'Cause
Okay,
I couldn't
so
come
I've
up
got
with
a
an idea.
question.
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to convince you to do a swatch so you can try out the stitches before
Yeah,
you're doing it
I think I have to.
across 200 stitches?
Yeah, I think I should. I think I should. It's
This is the
Because you know what? If I had done that on the Find Your Fade shawl, it would not have turned out to be the size of a 747. It's so big, that shawl. It's insanely big.
right, but you also added stitches.
I know,
You
but
added stitches to the width, that added stitches to rows to the length.
huge.
But you know, so by doing this, I know that when I get to the mosaic stitch, I'm going to want to go up a needle size because you see how it
It tightens.
draws in. Yeah, because of the
Yeah.
floats. Also,
Is that? Do you think is it your personal stitch tension that? Because I guess I'll try it when I see. Because I think, like when I did my hat, I don't have any. I didn't change the needle size at all.
well, because it's all Fair Isle.
Yeah, true.
But you'll see, you know, if you read or see videos
Yeah, they do
about
say.
mosaic, people always say that.
Go up one.
And if you have a sweater where part of it is Fair Isle and then the rest of it is like stockinette or something, a lot of people advise to go up a needle. I
Yeah.
think it's just everybody kind of it draws in on everybody.
Okay.
Also, so this is stockinette style where you're purling on the wrong side row in the mosaic pattern. This is the
Bring it
same
closer.
pattern. This is the same pattern, but it's garter style where you're knitting on the wrong side rows.
I think it's easier to see it in the in that.
the stockinette.
Yeah.
I like the stockinette better.
Yeah.
There's the lace.
So pretty.
Yep.
You do lace very well.
And the I like lace. So, but this year, I'm going to be doing a lot of color work. So this year, my technique of the year is color work. Okay.
I like that personally. I really enjoyed, working on the hat.
I'm gonna like that. Just that swatch. That was fun.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
What else you have? You have lots.
finished work. I have, so this I never showed before, but I have posted about on Instagram on my own account,
Okay.
not on Knitting Around LA. But so this was a great inspiration story. So I came across, I have 2 ends to weave in.
Only.
Yeah, because I crochet them in while I'm working.
Brilliant.
Because I hate leaving 1,000 ends. So I came across, right at the beginning of the year, somebody named on Instagram, Browngyrlknits, did this, posted this, Stash Down 2020.
Genius idea.
Genius idea. Let me find it.
So you took inspiration.
Well, as soon as I read about it, Stash Down 2020. And let me find, here's the original thing. So there's,
No, it's not showing.
no, it's my
Well,
light's too bright.
Okay.
But so that's what it
Oh,
looks
there
like.
you go.
And so it's one, inventory your yarn before January 1. It was not easy, but I did it.
I haven't gone there yet. I tried. I've done a little.
Pick patterns to go with your yarn and make a list.
Genius.
Yep. And I decided to use the tools in Ravelry because I had already started it. I didn't want to start a list somewhere else. But I've seen people sharing, you know, like any people are doing it all different ways, as you would well imagine. People all do things different ways. Like they have journals and they have lists and they have all different kinds of things. And then knit from that list all year. I like this. I was feeling like that when I saw this, it completely resonated because I had been feeling like I really should just knit from my stash.
Yeah.
And then this is the part I like. You get $30 a month for new yarn. Use it all at one time or break it up. And I was telling my son and daughter-in-law about this, and they laughed and they said, so it's basically nothing's different. It's like any normal year, except I think $360 is a little light for the amount that I actually usually spend on yarn. But and then you get 2 deal breakers for the year just in case your willpower gives out. I may need to, that's step number 5. I may need to invoke the 5th. Later on.
That's funny.
Okay, so I inventoried my yarn.
Yeah.
And as this was going on the last couple weeks of December, there was some discussion, and it was like, at one point, and her name is Amber, I think here. Amanda Scott.
Amanda Scott.
Yes.
Brilliant idea, Amanda.
Yeah, and there she is. Oh, look at that.
Well, show her picture.
That's
Where's that?
new. It's not.
Oh, yeah,
it's
it's
not
hard.
cooperating because of the light.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because I've got really bright lights in here. So there was some discussion, and one point I saw, because you know on Instagram you're always coming in at the tail end of some other conversation, and it's like
Sounds like
stress.
life. Yeah.
Don't stress out about it. Inventory, just the amount you want. Ignore some of your stash. Do it. You know, it's supposed to be fun. And it's like, there are no stash down police. So believe me, there are huge, even behind me there's huge portions that I ignored. But it can be very amusing.
What happened? So you started.
So on this,
Yeah.
So on this, so I knew this was in there. It was that bin right there that I gave you, made a table out of. It was full of baby yarn, a big bin of baby yarn, and I knew I had all this. And then one day on the Grocery Girls, Jody pulled out this, that you know. I've never done those advent calendars where you get a different mini, because there's all kinds of reasons, partly wool. you know.
Right.
And
so
and I don't need to acquire 24 minis in December, any December. But she said, oh, you know, she pulled out and she had something and she showed a blanket, something like this. It looked like it was just rows of double crochet. And she said, oh, I'm going to add this to my mini blanket. And that was like a light bulb turned on in my head, blazing. And I said, that's what I'm going to do with my baby yarn. And this started out to be a baby blanket. I did the chainless foundation double crochet. And I thought, well, I'll make it, I thought I would make it 48 inches wide for a big baby blanket. And so I discovered that chainless foundation double crochet grows. And so
how much did it grow to?
54.
Okay. All right.
And
not
so
too bad.
after I had about, you know, about this much done, I realized this is, because I can tell by eye because of all my years of measurement
and you're
stuff
like,
as
this
a
is
pattern maker.
This is
and I'm like, this is more than 48. So I measured it and I just said, okay, I'm going to make it a personal blanket for an adult. And I did. And it was so much fun. I could not stop working
you
on
really
this.
you
I became
churned
kind of
that out.
obsessive about it.
Yeah.
And I still, and also I discovered that a lot of my baby yarns are fingering weight. God,
So how did you manage
don't
that
know why.
then? What'd you do with that?
I doubled them. And the other thing about it,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I doubled them. So a lot of these are 2 yarns.
Okay.
Some of this is a worsted weight. Some of them are worsted weight and they're single. Most of them are fingering weight and they're double.
Okay.
So number 1, crochet uses up more yarn. Doubling the yarn uses up more
yarn.
I still have some, but I think that it'll actually be a baby blanket size, or maybe I'll get more than one baby blanket out of it. But that was great, and I'm going to gift that to somebody who I checked with her roommate.
So this was an approved gift.
Yes. So I only thought of it after I was working on it. I checked with her roommate. I said, do you think that she would like it? And her roommate said, yes, I think she would like it really a lot. But
Perfect.
so there's that. I got to tell you something else about Stash Down. You know what I discovered?
No.
Among other things,
What?
I have 5 sweater quantities for cardigans.
Oh my God.
And
That's
here's
significant.
here's 4 of them.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Well, I guess,
Oh, I'll talk about it when we get to dream knitting, because I still have whips. I think I still have whips.
well, you have
have
one right
whips?
there.
I have this one. Okay, so this is, God, another tale. Another tale of knitting. So, yes. I also want to design. So I've discovered how not to design, and that's what this shawl is. But I said I had this black and gold yarn that was a door prize at Stitches, and the red, I said black and gold, red and gold. The red is on my Ravelry queue. And this gold, now I've discovered what the gold is. It's the same as this purple.
Which is the same as
I didn't bring it in here. It's out in the other
it's
room.
this one.
No, it's not.
No?
This
Similar.
is the same. This is a different one, and the labels are all out in the family room. So I started knitting this, and I realized that I did want it to be this. So I'm happy with my Find Your Fade.
Yeah,
And-
yours was smaller. Yours is a little smaller than mine.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably good 20 inches, but it's still big. It's still at least 100 inches, which is what the pattern says. It's going to be 100 inches. But, and the reason I like it is the same reason that I'm not as happy with the Waiting for Rain. It goes far enough down my back. And the reason that I wanted a triangle shawl is because if I'm wearing a scarf in the wintertime, my upper back right here, below where the scarf is, that's always a little chilly. So I wanted the
Something to
triangle
hang
shawl,
down.
you know, cover my upper back. And that shawl, I put it on and I
Have
throw
enough.
the points over and it stays
Stays.
there. And I can wear it all day. I can bend over, I can be doing things, and it does not come falling off of me. Okay. And I don't pin it with a shawl pin. Mm-hmm. And when I finished it in 2018, I think I finished it in 2018. 2017, I wore it at Stitches in 2018 in the student show. And then that following winter, it was raining a lot, the winter of 2018 into 2019. I wore that every day.
It was good. That was a good one.
So I thought I'm going to do something that size and shape, and then pretty soon I realized that is not a 2-skein shawl. A lot of the patterns, they say that they're 2-skein shawls, and now I'm worried about the Lorelei.
Oh, that's right.
I'm a little worried about the Lorelei.
Because it may be small.
Yes. So, and I pulled out my Find Your Fade, and I weighed it. And I found out that it has nearly 1,600 yards of yarn in it. And that's 4 skeins.
And you only had 2 when you began this.
Yes. So actually,
it grew.
So I ran, it would have been, and I wanted a bigger shawl. And I wanted to do it the same shape as the Find Your Fade, that kind of asymmetric triangle with the spot, with the...
Mm-hmm. Here, let me...
the right angle, center spine. So, here, let me turn this around. So, I, as you know, I went out and
Look
bought
at how
more
pretty
yarn.
this is.
So, I tried. So, then I'm just experimenting with this. So, I've experimented with these lace patterns and the super, super large eyelets. And now, this is just feather and fan.
So pretty.
And I'm hoping it'll be done soon.
So beautiful.
But with the feather and fan, I wasn't really paying attention because the feather and fan, this lace is, it's a set of decreases and a set of increases, and they should balance each other out. But doing the central double decrease, and so you're always adding stitches over here, do the central double decrease, and not adding stitches over here. It should be balancing out. The stitch count should be staying the same, but this spine is moving over towards this edge. But on the feather and fan, what you want is the same number of decreased sections as increased sections. So it'll balance out. But I think that there were places in here where I did, for quite a ways in here, where I did increased sections on either side of the spine. So I had more increases than decreases across the whole thing. I was actually adding stitches.
So what'd you do?
I think it was just not getting smaller. I just had to really be conscious about it. And
did you take anything out?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm just asking.
I'm just totally winging it. I just stopped doing increases here. I just did plain stitches, and now it's
evening out.
It's getting smaller.
Okay.
And,
it's beautiful.
It's going to be a big shawl.
It's going to be gorgeous.
It's going to be a big shawl. Oh, and so back to the person. Now, when I started it out, I didn't intend to give it to the person I'm going to give it to.
Right.
But after I chose these yarns, this is her
colorway.
Colors. Yes, she wears these colors. I don't know so much about the red and gold, but...
Oh, she's going to love it.
Okay. So here's my thing. Even if she doesn't love it, even if she doesn't wear it, she'll appreciate it.
Yeah, and she'll accept it.
She'll say thank you. She'll appreciate, unlike some people who don't even appreciate it.
Oh, they appreciate it. They just didn't care for it.
Oh, well,
personally.
In my family.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Never mind.
There are people who did not even appreciate it. Wow. Actually, it was actually like, oh, you got that hand knit thing? Yeah, I got a hand knit thing last year. It's like, oh, okay, no more hand knit things. Okay.
All right.
I don't know where my little, there, it fell on the floor.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Yeah, I should take my yarn out.
Get your yarn out of my trash can.
Yeah, fell out.
Okay. So is that the end of my whip? That's the end of my whips.
I have a whip.
Oh, I've got 2 other whips, but I'm not going to show them. I've got my Sophie's Universe blanket up there. I'm not showing. I'll show it.
Well, I'll talk about this one. I have a whip here.
Yes.
It looks really like it's just been cast on, and it looks like it's a.
It actually is cast. Oh,
it is cast on. It is cast on.
I sort of remember
and
this.
It has
so this
mohair.
I remember this.
I got this at the knitting tree.
That's right, and it's this pattern that.
And the pattern is called K-Brada scarf, and the designer is Stacy Rasmussen, and it's 2 fingering weights with a mohair.
Oh,
and
there's a section where it's just
blended.
this tiny thin mohair.
Yeah, and these yarns are dyed by Chris.
So is this?
Yes, all of these are from Chris from the knitting tree.
LeftCoastDyeWorks.
Correct.
LeftCoastDyeWorks.
LeftCoastDyeWorks.
Unless something has changed, as far as we know, the only place you can get them right now is the knitting tree, or you can order them from his website.
Yeah. They're see the colors? They're beautiful.
So beautiful.
And put that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that.
Now, why? It's just really just knit. It's just stocking knit. Why did I cast it on and just like not burn through it? I'll tell you
question. Why?
Because the I hadn't really ever worked with mohair, and mohair just wants to wrap up on itself. It's like sticky, and I realized that what I need. Remember the yarn socks we bought? I need yarn socks.
Oh, you don't have any of these?
Well, I have 2, but they've got something already in them.
Well,
so
that's what you need to buy at Stitches.
Yeah, because it's
Here.
yarn sock. Right? I don't know what else to call it. And it's a stretchy material, and
it's like cotton spandex, but yes, yarn sock.
That's what I need.
Yes.
So sometimes, even though I'm not the world's most experienced knitter, but I kind of thought I sort of knew about stuff.
You're feeding this from the outside of the ball.
Oh, maybe that's also wrong.
Oh, God. See, that's one of the reasons I like to feed it from the inside of the ball.
See? Live and learn, folks. Live and learn. That's why you have to have smart friends. Yeah, so there's not that I've done that much that I can't pull it out or just...
Because also, when you have the yarn sock on it, you have to feed it from the inside of the ball.
Correct.
And the reason
inside and...
Yes.
And inside. So these 2 are feeding from the center. That one not, but I will. So anyway, sometimes you just learn about things.
Well, this is why people stop on things. Once we've talked about it and kind of analyzed it, it's a small thing, but you've got to overcome it.
Right.
And if you don't know, now also if you didn't have a yarn sock, and if they didn't exist, what would you have done?
I don't. It would be hard on that. I've gotten some like bags.
Ziploc sandwich size.
Yes.
Ziploc sandwich size.
And you just zip it, but leave a little end open.
Another thing that's good is how those little organza.
Look at that.
But
Those gift bags that you
little
can get.
Little organza bags that you get gifts and stuff in.
Right,
those are good.
Right.
I've got something in one over here, but I can't pull it out right now.
You know what? Shouldn't there be somewhere like knitting hacks? I feel like I would like to see somebody show a bunch of knitting hacks. I don't know.
If
just
only
me.
there was some place online where you could look up things and people showing you things.
Maybe it exists.
Maybe
I don't know. Anyhow,
in video form or something.
Yeah. So anyhow, work in progress. Now I know how to get it to go forward. So there you go. I think I know what I want to talk about. Just a little bit about material. I don't get paid. I'm not not sponsored.
God,
but,
I wish.
But look at these needles, folks. These are Knitter's Pride carbons that I'm doing my socks with, and they have a metal lace point tip. To die for. They're so
this
good.
is
So good to knit with.
the whole thing is
Those are like maybe 24.
the whole thing from tip to tip is like a 24-inch
Yeah,
needle.
yeah.
That's a nice cord.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
Oh my God, love them.
And you got a whole
Love
set
them. I did. I bought a whole.
of the circulars.
Of the circulars, and
From what size to what size?
they're sock size, so they're from 0 to 4, and it's a set of 6.
US sizes.
yeah,
US size
yeah,
0 to.
I didn't bring them with me because
US size
I
4.
didn't think I was going to, actually even talk about them or show them. But
What's
wow, as you knit.
This is just a random circular
Yeah, just
needle.
random circular needles. But, you wind up acquiring a lot of different tools, and you try different things, different needles and different whatever. And man, I feel like I hit on those late in life when I'd already bought a whole bunch of needles. But let me tell you, I love them, and I'm thrilled that I got them, and they're now in my possession. I got little hands.
Got anything else?
Just
In progress?
No, nothing else in progress.
Oh, well, we can move on to dream knitting.
I could, yeah. I got one thing to show for dream
Okay.
knitting. All right, this is a gift, folks. But
Right.
she said
She said she
yes
wants
to
it.
it. She wants it, and this was purchased at Stitches last year.
West.
West.
'Cause
And
I was
it's-
with you.
Yep, and it's the String Skirt Studio on
Stunning String
oh,
Studio.
yeah, Entrelock.
The Entrelock Swirl Skirt.
Yes, and it's designed by Gwen.bortner, who teaches there. I took an Entrelock class with her, and it's
It comes, this is a stitch marker.
yeah,
I never used it, but
little big for me, I think.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
Julie has made this skirt, worn it, and it is stunning. So this was in my stash, and I also realized in the stash down, and also getting ready for today, rummaging around what I've had, and we're going, to Stitches and West in 2 days. I realize I have a lot of stuff, a lot of yarn, a lot of patterns, stuff that I've begun, and
well, don't we all? You know what I say? It's almost required, or I can't walk through the doors of the marketplace the very first day. It's almost required that you walk through the doors of the marketplace the very first day. You have to say, I really don't need any more yarn, and then you go on. But you know what?
I need a cup. I'm looking for a cup. I bought a
Drinking cup?
a mug
Oh.
that I bought Stitches West last year, and they were not at Stitches SoCal.
Jam PDX.
Yeah,
They are going to be at Stitches
I
West.
know. I'm
messaged them.
I'm getting a mug. I'm going to get a mug.
I have
That's
to
on
get a
my
mug.
list. That's
Oh,
on my
I-
to-do list to buy that. But it's like, how much yarn? And you're all going to laugh at me, and ha ha ha. My goal is not to buy yarn, because I really need to stash down. I'm much older than Julie. I have to be realistic.
I have a lifetime supply of yarn.
Yeah,
here.
but I have a shorter lifetime. So
Well,
I don't know how much more I should buy.
Okay, well,
But-
yeah, I started to say, did I tell you I have five?
Yes.
Five. Okay,
Yeah.
so one of them is, you were with me when I bought. Oh, there it is. It's right there.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
I have 2,000 yards of this.
Look at that color.
It's gorgeous.
Oh,
And then
it's
that I bought
Oh, it's
at
bar,
Bar Yarns.
yarn.
I bought
Luscious.
this at the Little Knittery on the yarn, which is in Los Feliz. Is that
I don't know.
technically where it is? Los Feliz?
I don't
think
know.
it is. I don't know. It's on North Vermont in LA. I bought it on the LAyarncrawl. I have 2,000 yards of this. That should be enough for a long sleeve sweater. And then
And it's cotton, right?
No,
Oh no! Oh no! No no! Like it's fingering weight wool.
it's wool. It's superwash merino. It's 100% superwash merino. So this is going to be my wool sweater.
Show it.
Okay.
Show your
And
pattern.
I said this year is my color work year, so I want to do the
Closer.
Jennifer Steingass, this beautiful pattern, but I'm going to make it a cardigan because there is no way
No, you
I'm
can't have
ever
a
going to wear a wool pullover
No, no.
and be able to keep it on. So then at the Southern California Hand Weavers Weaving and Fiber Festival, I got this yarn, Dye Lots Studio, and she's local. She's local Southern California. I can't remember where she's from. And so this, I'm going to put it together with this. But to do so I think that this speckled one is going to be the light
I think
background.
you should bring this much closer because they can't see the pattern.
Light background. And I'm actually going to need to look for some yarn. I'm going to need to very targeted because I want something that's for that dark there.
Yeah.
And so I think I have this purple. I don't think I'm going to use all of this purple. The dark purple in that. So I'm going to do some purple flowers up here. And then down here, this should be orange. To be like
The poppies.
the poppies, wildflowers in the spring. And at some point on the lower part, I'm going to mix this, which is literally called Super Bloom, with the orange for down here. I'm going to use the purple up there. I have to decide what color to have, this anchoring color and then this here. And
It's going to be California wildflowers.
yes, inspired by California wildflowers.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so gorgeous.
And if I use all of this up, I can get more. I got this at Zoe's. And I think this is a fabulous shade. Or maybe I'll go for this here.
Kind of the mauve color.
The very dark fuchsia. No, the dark fuchsia.
fuchsia.
Yeah, or, a turquoise.
Oh. Oh my God, the turquoise would be fabulous. That would really pop.
Yeah, I know. But it's going to
Turquoise
look a
would be
little,
pop.
I don't know, but maybe another purple like that goes with this.
What about that there?
This, I'll talk about that.
Talk about that. She's got something on the table. She's going to talk about it.
Okay. So this is like the next thing. I'm going to wind these up into balls before we leave on Wednesday. And
Bring them with you?
yes. And I don't think I'm bringing any projects. I'm just going to bring yarns to make swatches because I also have these that I want to make cardigans out of. And one of those cardigans is this one. This is from a Rowan book the book is called Sand. And that's written for cotton. This red here, that's cotton. I got it at the Trendsetter Warehouse. So that's one of the next ones I'm going to make. I need to get pattern for this at some point. I'm not going to do that soon. I've been looking online. I need to swatch this because I always thought this was worsted weight, but I think it's a little bit smaller.
You think it's smaller? You
I
think
it's
that's a DK?
I think it's a little smaller than worsted, so I've got to swatch it.
Okay.
But this is 80% cotton and 20% baby llama. I got this at the Webb's booth one of my first years at Stitches. One of the first years I went, and I've got it in this rust color also. Because it was
So we have two quantities of...
2 sweater quantities.
Okay.
And then this was something that I brought home from YBLA. It had been a YBLA donation. And
Yarn Bombing in Los Angeles.
Yarn Bombing Los Angeles. They got a lot of donations when we were doing the before I joined them, we're doing the Craft and Folk Art Museum project. And this is cotton. And I have a ton of it. And so I'm going to make a nice big sweater for myself out of it. So that's my 5 sweater quantities of yarn.
What's this for?
This is for the Nerdy Knitters Challenge this year.
Oh, right.
Our theme for the challenge this year is Out of This World. Okay, so there's this. And I got this in New Zealand. It is hand-dyed possum and merino. And so in New Zealand, there are they're Australian possums, right? And they're in New Zealand, and they're a problem in New Zealand, right?
They were not a native.
They're not native. They're an invasive. They have no predator.
That's right. They're invasive.
Yes, and they they actually have a bounty on them. They can they're happy if you hunt them, but they're not like our American possums, which you would never use possum for yarn here. It's this really soft, and it's a hollow hair shaft. So that's one of the things that makes it really light. And it's really soft, but it's a short staple, so they have to blend it with.
Yeah.
So it's merino wool, 60%, 30% possum fur, and 10% silk. So you felt this, right?
Yeah,
it's
lovely.
It's got a gorgeous hand, and it's not at all inexpensive. This is the most I've ever paid for one skein of yarn.
Yeah, they are expensive. But
but there is a lot of yarn, 420 meters. So I decided I'm going to make a cowl for myself. And
do you happen to have a pattern?
I did. I can't. After the holiday party where we decided on the theme for next year, I came right home. I knew I was going to do it out of this. I had my idea right away. I came right home and found this. I'm going to do this Seeds to Flowers cowl. It's got some beads in it, so I'm also going to be putting some beads in there. And should I say?
No,
why it's out of this world?
No.
Okay.
I think no.
Save it and let it be a surprise.
Yeah, because you have to
Later in the year.
Later in the year. Yeah.
Of course, we could always tease the nerdy knitters and say that if
you
they watch our videos.
You just showed them your yarn and a pattern. And you have another. What is this yarn for? Oh, I just knocked something off.
Oh, we'll get it.
Okay.
This yarn I had thought, this was from Portland, the Knitted Wit. And you and I picked this up. I picked this up when we were in Portland last summer, you and I. And I had thought that maybe I would put it, in the yoke of this sweater.
You found something else.
Well, I already had this.
Right.
And it kind of goes back to this was my first impulse. And so
I
that's
kind of
what
like that one.
I like that. Because this also goes with the wildflower theme better.
It does.
It
does.
So this is just going to have to be something.
It'll be what it'll be.
I'll just have to find something to put it with, and maybe make a shawl.
Oh, wow. That's so pretty.
So,
well, how we doing?
How are we doing? Do you have dream knitting? You have the
I showed the.
What about the Ruana? Your Ruana.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Oh.
I'm going to dive out of the frame for a second here.
All right. Well, she's taking a dive because I knocked a bag off. Because I have so much yarn, and this is nothing, but just a smattering of colors that I want to work on this Ruana with. I have, although I'm not a big fan, for this I needed to see and wanted to see what the different weights of the various yarns would look like. I'm going to work on a very large needle size. I think these are 17s, if I remember. They're really big.
Yes, kind of like I did for my big fluffy.
Yeah, and so I want to see, like, I'm not thrilled with this. I think it's too thin. It stretches too much, and I may like have to, you know.
So in this area, that already is 2 yarns.
Yeah, I know, but they're two very
So
thin
yeah,
yarns.
so you may want to put something else with it.
Exactly. So it's going to be a learning process. A Ruana, if I wasn't familiar with it, Julie taught me, you know, what it was, and you've already made one. It's sort of like a poncho.
Like a poncho.
But it's open in the center.
Here's my little picture.
So that it has 2 front parts, and then so you know, like that. It opens like that, and then it has a solid back. So I'm going to knit them.
So here it is, like.
Yeah.
So it's just like 2, you could do it by making 2 rectangles, and you only join it halfway so that half of it has a slit, and that becomes the front part, and you just toss it on your shoulders, and it's a nice warm garment.
So since I have so much yarn, I'm going to split the colors that I'm going to work with, and use a really long circular needle. And I'm going to knit the 2 front panels simultaneously, so the colors are going to go across. And then I'll get to a certain point when I've decided it's long enough, and then I'll start to join them. I'll add some stitches between them
like
to join them.
Kind of a long cable. You could use like a 32 or a 36-inch cable for needle. And you're planning on doing each side 18 inches wide.
Yep.
Approximately.
Yep.
Although being that big and loose, it's like
but
like this. It's gonna move around a lot. It's gonna have a lot of movement.
But I think that's the fun part, is just going to experiment with it, and I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to have fun with color. I'm going to have fun with my yarns. I'm going to have fun with mixing them, and it's going to be for me. So,
and this is you can kind of make it up as you go along.
I know.
So
I like that idea.
As you're moving along, you can try, all these different yarns together, and you've got way more yarn than this.
Oh my God, I've got
So,
a massive amount of.
So are you going to start this soon?
I'd like to, but it's not the kind of thing I don't really like. I'm not going to take it to stitches. It's too much stuff. I mean, but it's definitely something that I could bring around.
To meetings, because it's just going to be straight knitting.
Yeah, it's just going to be straight knitting.
And are you going to do some garter ridges and some
who
stockinette?
knows? Yeah, I'm going to play.
Keep it from.
I'm just going to have a good time.
It's the kind of thing you can make up as you go along. Yes.
Yep, that's exactly what I want to do. So for me, it's going to be learning, and the bottom word really is going to be fun. Because
knitting should be fun. It should all be fun.
It's fun.
Have you thought about what you're going to take to stitches? The socks?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take something really small, so that it's easy to walk around with. If I want to sit at a table, I'll take my socks. I mean, geez, we're not there for that long, and I do have a class I'm taking on mitered corners, I think, or something with miters, and I'll throw in
mitered squares.
Mitered squares, and then I'm going to put in the heel, and I think that should probably be a good thing to do.
I think I'm going to bring this and swatch it.
There you go. Yeah. What's in the bag?
The bag. The bag I want to show you because this is. I'm going to show this bag, giving a shout out to this maker, because this was a gift. Where did it come from?
It's inside. It's her tag's in there.
It's Front Range Bags, and she's Front Range Bags on Etsy.com. It's so so it's small-ish. It's padded. It stands up on its own. It's got inside. It's got a couple little pockets, and it's got these little rings so you can put the yarn up through.
They're genius.
There's 2 of them. I think this is the perfect sock bag because hold on.
Show them what the rings do.
The rings open because I want to do my socks 2 at a time.
There you go.
So I will have 2 balls and run the yarn up through the little opening ring.
So genius.
So genius. And the handle also has the handle also has a snap, so it can come off, or you can snap it onto something else.
Yes.
And this young lady, I don't know.
Yeah, she's
young lady deserves a shout out.
Yeah.
Front range bags.
Yeah, we're going to look for them.
Is she coming to?
I think so. I think
West?
so. Yeah, I know a really good friend gave you that bag.
A really good friend gave me that bag because I didn't. Because I was in Australia.
Yeah.
And I did not go to SoCal.
I know. So we'll see her there. I'm hoping at Stitches West. All right.
I think we did everything on the list. Next time at Stitches. And then after Stitches, a few weeks later, no.
We have the LAyarncrawl.
Isn't it? It's not until April.
March.
Last weekend.
March.
It's actually exactly a month
right
after. So then that will be the yarn crawl, and we hope to see you a lot more frequently than we have this past year.
Yes.
And anything else?
Other than saying thank you for watching us.
Thank you for watching us.
And we'll
thank you for coming back if you have returned, and thank you for finding us if you just found us. And like I said, hope to see you.
You know what we should do?
Oh, Jen Chow.
Yes.
Oh, but Jen Chow, look at our videos from LA County Yarn Crawl from last year to find out all about Jen Chow.
And she's
Children of the Rice
on Etsy.
And knitting takes as Children of the Rice and knitting takes balls.
And
I'll do show
fabulous.
notes. We'll do show notes on
Okay.
this.
All right.
So I guess we'll see you next time in Santa Clara.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.